the costs involved in testing all these products.
The Food and Safety Laboratory starts operations next year. Amunema Monde Deborah, UBC.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for that particular report. Now, moving on, a new report shows that 80% of private companies in Uganda collapsed this year before the second anniversary due to heavy taxes imposed by Uganda Revenue Authority. And this report was revealed by the chairman, private sector, that is Eli Karuhanga, during the high-level policy dialogue on Uganda's development strategy held by Advocates Coalition for Development and Environment in Kampala.
You are taxing me dead. How am I going to convince her that out of the 100 companies which started this year, 80 died in their second year anniversary? And you would have taxed these 80. But what did you do to encourage them to survive? The private sector is not capable of even explaining it to you. So we have a challenge of incapacity, both in the neck and also in the delivery of services of the head.
80% of businesses failing before their second birthday. This is not a function of taxation. It is a function of doing business for pleasure, as it were. We are not doing business for business. We are not doing business as professionals. We are doing business as a gamble, as a let me try it. People start businesses, have very good ideas, but they do not carry them through to grow the business. And one of the things that I can point out is just take a random sample, even in this room, of people who actually are doing business in this room. You will probably find that only 20% are keeping business records. Only maybe 30% are servicing their loans that have financed the businesses. So when we talk about doing business as a business, there are certain things that are key. One, we need to be able to know how much capital has been invested, how much of that capital is yielding a profit, if at all, and how much of that profit is being reinvested in the business to grow the business.
One, we need as Ugandans, I think, to pay taxes. Now, expanding the tax base is one of those areas because some people seem to be paying too much and some others are paying nothing because they're in the informal sector, even if they're not necessarily in subsistence. Some people who are actually in the formal sector do business in the informal sector, and that's where the URA, I think, has to act, ensure that we increase our revenue. But
quite interesting, but moving on, corruption, corrupt accountants, corrupt accountants, especially members of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, may soon lose their jobs and also be removed from the role of the accountancy profession. And the president of the institute, that is Frederick Chibedi, says that all accountants and those who wish to join the profession should embrace integrity and transparency.
But the people who come to do work, come to enhance their career and their own persons. So they don't mind how much you pay them, they mind how much they're getting from their place of employment at that point in time.
The fight against corruption has received a boost from the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, with an addition 10 trainee accountants that will, among other things, be equipped with integrity and transparency in financial management skills, while commissioning beneficiaries who are to receive full sponsorship from the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda. The Institute's president, Frederick Chibedi, said the scholars will help boost the campaign against corruption in financial management.
Those who are training and those who are being trained and those who are doing various work, wherever we are, to remember always that skills, the ability to do things, is what the employer will retain you for.
The Secretary, Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, Derek Nkaja, said the fresh university graduates obtained a first and second upper class degrees and aims at nurturing talents among youth.
We had more than 160 applicants. And one of the criteria is that one will have to desire to be a professional accountant, but most importantly that you have excelled at your studies. And I'd like to congratulate the beneficiaries because all of them excelled at their...
It covers registration, tuition, study materials, examination fees and annual renewal fees.
Probably would say that in the bare minimum we have saved them about $140 per paper at a maximum of $250, depending on which choice the person has taken to study the professional course.
The Certified Public Accountants Uganda qualification is a 2.5-year course recognized globally by stakeholders in financial management and has since 1992 trained close to 3,000 Ugandans. According to a recent World Bank report, over $500 million is lost through corruption in Africa per annum.
It's part and parcel of professionalism world over, that a professional, be it in medicine, be it in law, be it in engineering, that you must articulate that you are able to serve the local market.
Equipping accountants with professional skills aims at curbing the vice. Deo Habimana compiled this report.
In our case, we also want to...
Okay, now we're going to look at our digest there real quick. It's very interesting here, and we're looking at the fact that Ugandans have to pay more taxes as the government seeks funds, and we're looking at the fact that in this particular case, as a way forward for the government seeking to mobilize even more revenues to fund the ever-growing expenditure amid a rising debt burden and limited room for expenditure cuts. Now, Uganda's total debt stock shot to $11.5 billion, which is about 42.7 trillion shillings by the close of December 2018, up from $10.2 billion, which is about 37.2 trillion shillings as of June 2017. Now, the Secretary to the Treasury, that is Keith Mhakanizi, has said that it is hard for the government to cut expenditure given its commitment to fund huge key infrastructure projects and also what they're looking at that are needed to support economic development. Mhakanizi made these particular comments during the launch of the Regional Economic Outlook Report for the Sub-Saharan Africa at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel. That was on Monday. Now, cutting, open quotes, cutting was possible in the past because most of the expenditure then was meant for travel abroad. This meant that we financed the budget by either cuts or accumulating areas, but that is not possible now because we have contracted multi-billion infrastructure projects. Reducing expenditure will mean that we accumulate areas to have them completed, close quotes. And that's from Mhakanizi, and he goes ahead and says that the only option here is to stabilize expenditure and increase revenue mobilization. Open quotes, we are trying to implement medium-term revenue mobilization plan, close quotes. And he goes ahead and says that if one does not stabilize expenditure, they are in trouble. If expenditures keep going up and revenues are down, then debt will increase and its sustainability becomes an issue. Now, we need to look at debt servicing as a ratio of the domestic revenue. If we do not, we will find that 30% to 40% of the domestic revenue goes into debt servicing, which is a disaster, he says. Now, Mhakanizi was reacting to the International Monetary Fund resident representative to Uganda, that is Clara Mira's presentation of the report findings. Now, Mira said that rising debt level in sub-Saharan Africa countries calls for consolidation plans, cutting expenditure, collecting more revenue, and using it in better ways. Now, the debt distress here is that she goes ahead and says that currently 7 countries in the sub-Saharan Africa, including Eritrea, Gambia, Mozambique, DR Congo, Sao Tome and Principe, South Sudan and Zimbabwe as well, in a debt distress. Now, 9 others, including Burundi, Cape Verde, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Ethiopia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Zambia are in high risk of debt distress. Now, public debt stocks are mainly from commercial sources, which over half domestic creditors and about 15% from Eurobonds, according to the report. Now, official bilateral and multilateral debt accounted for only about a quarter of the total public debt in 2017, much less than the early 2000s. Now, NIRA said that the most domestic areas, rather, in most sub-Saharan African countries have been persistent, with which also reflect weak public financial management. Now, areas are said to have increased by about 3.3% of the GDP in 2018, following the 2014 commodity price shock. Now, she also noted that domestic areas affect the private sector activity and social service delivery, while increasing banking sector vulnerabilities and also undermining citizen trust in the government. Additionally, areas weaken the ability of fiscal policy to support growth. Now, of course, concerning the government's huge domestic areas there, Mhakanizi said audit firm Ernst & Young was hired to investigate the uncertain and also ascertain the genuineness here of these areas. Now, the audit, he says, found the areas to be mostly fake. And the audit put the domestic areas figure at 1.2 trillion shillings, down from 2.8 trillion shillings, he says. Now, Mhakanizi also acknowledged that domestic areas do affect the GDP growth. Now, it is also true that the more you finance growth through domestic areas, then the more you kill the domestic companies. Now, this explains why the mortality rate of Ugandan companies is high, he said. Now, he also attributed the rising domestic areas to supplementary budgets, and he goes ahead and says that we need to deal with the supplementary budget problem to address the area's challenges. And so domestic areas is a story of indiscipline and must be corrected ruthlessly, he says. Now, I'll not exhaust that story, I pretty much said much of it, but you can get yourself a newspaper and read and find out what's happening. I mean, it doesn't hurt to read. I'm told we no longer have the culture of reading, but it does not hurt for us to read a thing or two and find out what's happening around us. Now, do not go away. You're still watching Business Today. I will take you in for our Sounds of Business, and shortly after that, we shall be back with our insight.
Is back. Come and have original Ugandan fun at Kwipina and play the African way at the biggest celebration of traditional African games. Make your way to Legends Lugogo on the 15th of December and play Kwipina as you relive old memories and have a good time with friends and family. We will also have games like Blada, Sonko, Mweso, Ludo, Dolo, plus top-notch DJs and performers to keep you entertained as you eat some barbecue and sip on a good drink. Tickets are on sale at Galaxy FM reception, Oscan Foods in Kinda, and the Sami House Bomber Road at only 10k and 5k for kids. Contact 0752-208-608 or 0784-218-964 for any reservations. Kwipina is powered by Cheza, Legends, KQ Hub Africa, Up and About, Campus B, UBC, and Galaxy FM.
This festive season, enjoy great value from Airtel with the all-new My Pakalast combo offers. Yes! We have customized especially for you the best deals on minutes, data, and SMS with our 3-in-1 My Pakalast combo to give you the best value as you stay in touch with friends and family this season. To activate My Pakalast voice combo, dial *100*2*1# to get started.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
CNET Uganda is responsible for distributing the digital signal to Ugandans. We are currently activating all upcountry sites to boost our coverage. Jinja, Mbara, Masaka, Hoima, Soroti and Bale are now on. Our viewers in those areas are advised to use your free-to-air decoders to pick the signal. Senate Uganda, your sole signal distributor countrywide.
Effective teaching techniques enable learners to develop the passion for learning. Teaching with charisma, interaction and demonstration transform the students into excellent performers in knowledge and skills. Don't miss Time to Learn every Saturday on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
We're coming to you live from Butekanga in Kamuli district.
In the sub-county where I come from, where my leadership is being practiced, money is really a big problem that is hindering women to join leadership.
And in case you didn't know, Fasi Fasi is a show intended to make way for women in the leadership sphere. How can we create a space where someone who does not have 20 million shillings but has the ideas can become a leader in our community?
Did you know that the journey to becoming a politician is very costly, especially for women in rural areas like Kamuli, where the main source of income is subsistence farming? Going by numbers, money seems to be a critical factor in joining the political race.
And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's make way and make some noise.
This weekend on UBC.
My name is Nkayo Hannington, winner of the NSSF Friends with Benefits Season 2.
Congratulations, Hannington!
I used my winnings to boost my agriculture production and give a chance to the people in my community to work.
So join us this year for the third season of the NSSF Friends with Benefits, as 16 Ugandans share inspirational stories on how they use their NSSF benefits to do life-changing things. So tune in every Sunday with your host Gaetano and I, and special new host Uncle D. It's another incredible display. It's the NSSF Friends with Benefits.
And that's not all. You have the power to vote for your favorite stories to win up to 55 million shillings, just like Hannington. This show is brought to you by
NSSF, a better life.
We tend to reach towards the falls, the water, the speed is very high. It comes with a lot of force because the whole Nile squeezing itself through the Nile Gorge. It creates a lot of pressure. So we shall experience a turbulent water towards the falls.
I'm glad you're still here with us and you're still watching Business Today. My name is Rowena Kajumba. Yes, what you just saw there were Sounds of Business, and I must say that is something that any of us really should try out for. We've been talking about tourism for a very long time, and I've been here with my guests saying, I think I should do this. Yes. It's been a while since you've done it. But today we're having some of our sponsors, biggest supporters here, and that is Airtel Uganda, and of course one of the biggest networks, actually if I could use the word biggest networks in the country, and they've been here with us, supporting us, also supporting the country in so many ways. And of course by the time I say supporting the country, there's this particular discussion we're going to look into. So many times we've talked about access to the internet, the infrastructure, who can access it, who cannot access it. And Airtel Uganda says, hey, I think we need to go away from this who can afford the internet to trying and making sure that everyone pretty much can access the internet. Well, I don't want to speak for Airtel. With me in studios is Isaac Kyohere, yes, and he is the lead pricing Airtel broadband. I think a couple of you, but you're taking the lead here. But I know this is something that probably many people would be quite interested in, especially around this time of year. Okay, but before we get into that, you'll forgive me, I usually would want us to remind the people of what you do, what you're doing. It could seem obvious, but some people just hold their phones to receive and call people, receive calls and call people. But real quick, Airtel Uganda. I know it's been a long journey, but the telecom general outlook as also players within this field. Tell us more about it, Isaac. But first of all, welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Rowena. Yes. So maybe brief about Airtel. Around this time of the year, we've introduced about 3 or 4 big offers. I'll talk about Airtel Broadband more in detail. So Airtel Broadband basically is an affordable internet solution that can be used by people in their businesses and their homes.
Okay.
So it comes, we bring it to you with an access device, which is an Airtel Broadband outdoor unit. Yep.
Okay. So because we're going to focus on it, what are the things that should people expect within this time of year? You talked about the probably 3 or so.
Yeah, we have something around our voice offers or services, which we call My Pacalust. So if someone dials star 100, I think star 2, star 1 hash, they'll be able to choose any Pacalust offer that fits in within their wallet or their services. We also have international money transfer services. About a month or so ago, on our Airtel Money platform, people can now remit funds both in to Uganda and out of Uganda. And remittances in to Uganda are free of charge.
Oh.
Yeah, so those are the 2 or 3 bigger things. And then of course we have this Airtel broadband.
Yeah, so let's focus on the broadband. Why small and medium enterprises and homes?
Okay, so basically the solution comes in a slim or sleek design, and we have an outdoor unit that is placed outside your premises. Now that outdoor unit taps into our network, our reliable 4G network, and then through a power Ethernet cable gets into an IDU, which gives Wi-Fi, which can connect up to 32 internet devices. So these in the homes can be used for various offices. You can connect your laptops, you can connect your smart TV, you can connect your mobile phone, your iPhone, your iPad, and then similar for business. Up to 32 users can be connected at any one time simultaneously. Now, of course, for homes and businesses, the key thing is affordability.
Yes.
So maybe when you get to that part, as an entry fee, you pay only 280,000 shillings, and this comes with 51 GB that is valid for 30 days.
Okay.
We then also give you free installation by our very qualified Airtel engineers, and then you have maintenance of up to 3 years. Now going forward, after you've consumed the 51 GB, you'll have 3 bundles you can subscribe to, and this is the one with 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, and then 120 GB at 200,000 shillings, and 200 GB at 300,000 shillings. So if you look at the average cost, it's about 2,000 shillings per GB. Yeah, so basically affordability, reliability, we're trying to make the service as affordable as possible for customers to enjoy.
Why now though? Why are we looking at the SMEs now? Because one would say,
there are very many startup businesses and the key about business is you always put in some capital, but you always want to see some returns earlier in your investment. So the key thing is affordability, and there are very many SMEs that start up. You could find law firms, car bonds, even mechanical workshops, saloons. There's so many people downtown who are always on the internet trying to buy or place an order for some stock or clothes or whatever, and they want something that's affordable, something that's high quality, something that has very good speeds. So that is why we sort of got into that space. And then for homes as well, there are a lot of people who work from home. They do all sorts of things from home. So you have work at home moms and dads. A lot of children have come back from the holidays and are going to want to have access to the internet for all sorts of things, for their assignments, their projects. And then of course there's the EO entertainment world. A lot of people now are moving away from, though they'll still use decoders, a lot of them are now going to IPTV. So you connect and you connect online to Netflix, to all these very interesting things that are available, YouTube, and you get so much content online that you can literally stream live. You also have situations where you may want to monitor your home or your business using your cameras.
Yes.
So you can also connect your security cameras, whether over Wi-Fi or the Ethernet, to this device, and say your working mom or dad in your office, as long as you have it online, you can see what the maid is doing with your child at home, what your older kids are doing with the younger kids at home. So that is why we sort of bring the solution to target this space.
That's very interesting. And so many times we've talked about things like the infrastructure, the access itself. How are you going to do? Because this is the thing. So you're going to have a lot more people. Yes. And in this particular space, isn't that going to be quite challenging? Because we've had some issues over the years, well, across all networks, where the infrastructure may not necessarily be to its best.
Okay, so basically Airtel has 4G all over this country. I think we've seen that advert that has run, I think, even more than a year now, a year backward. We have 4G all over this country. So this device or this system runs on a 4G network.
Okay.
And 4G is pretty much everywhere. I mean, you saw adverts as far as Karamoja, in the north. We don't see any big challenge when we give you this service, because it just picks up our 4G network. And the ODU, the outdoor unit that is placed outside your premises, basically enhances or picks a stronger signal.
Anywhere in the country.
Anywhere in the country. Though phase one is we've kind of started selling around Kampala for now, for certain reasons. So ideally anywhere in the country you'll have a 4G network. So we, as you're saying, in terms of infrastructure, we don't think that we'll have any challenge. We're already using our existing infrastructure to offer this service.
So this seems like a very easy process. You walk into an Airtel shop or contact someone and they come and place this and connect you.
So we have maybe can talk about two or three main channels. The first channel being any of our Airtel outlets. If you go to any of our 14 major outlets in Kampala, you'll find a broadband point or demo unit. Now when you get there, you can see how the unit looks. You will see what the audio device looks like, the in-device. You'll see it connected to a smart TV. And the person there, we have Airtel broadband promoters, will even walk you through the product and show you how the product works. So you'll get the look and the feel of browsing at broadband speeds, of streaming and doing all these interesting things. The other option is you can always call our helpline on 100, or you can go to our Facebook page and show interest, right? You can say, I need an Airtel broadband unit. The lead will come back and then someone will call you. Or we have a team of sales executives that go around trying to pitch and sell this product. So they'll come and pitch it to you. Now what happens when you get into the shop, or when the salesperson pitches it to you, you will have to go through what we call our SIM registration process. That is standard now for most of our telecom products. And you pay the 280,000 very simply using Airtel Money in about 30 or 40 minutes.
You can still get this.
Yes.
Not being physically at
Yes. The sales executive comes with all those gadgets. So you pay through Airtel Money, and in about 30 or 40 minutes time, our installation engineers will call you up and try to schedule an installation schedule with you. The installation, by the end of the day, usually an installation is done. It takes 40 minutes to an hour to install the unit at your premises. And then, of course, they will also walk you through how to get the 51 GB. They will also walk you through how to subscribe to feature bundles. They'll also take you through our Airtel Broadband Self-Care portal that can be used to do simple things like, one, checking your usage and volume, recharging the bundle. You can use different channels. You can use airtime, Airtel Money, and even credit cards as well. Yes, to load for the bundles the next month. Yes. Check. Yes.
And we get to call customer care.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Okay, so that's quite convenient.
Yes, please.
So how does one, for example, if they've not gone physically to any of your outlets, what are they supposed to do to, get the service using their phones or anything, away from Facebook anyway?
Yes, I said you can call the helpline. You can call 100. Facebook, of course, is another option. And then you can walk into any of our Airtel shops. Like would say those are the three easiest ways.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you pay the 280,
Yes.
it's installed, and you said it comes with how much GB?
It comes with 51 GB.
It's 51 GB. Okay. So let me ask again. What then? How do you get to handle the 3 years that you're talking about in terms of maintenance and handling? I understand maybe how it could work, but for people to understand.
Okay, so ideally, when we install you, the device comes with a red sticker. On that sticker, there are two hotlines. There is 127, that is basically connected to the people who have bought the device, but there is also a toll-free line, which is 0800 327 327. Yes. So whenever you have an issue, you can call any of those hotlines, and then we'll schedule maintenance, and someone should come with you within 24 hours or so to come and help you with your issue.
Just like that?
Could be, yeah, just like that.
Okay.
It's part of, so we're trying to make it as easy and as affordable and as easy for customers to use. It's just part of the whole...
And there are certain things that could actually cost just in case it's out of... What you have, is everything within that 3 years maintenance, so it's just specific things?
Everything, after paying that one-time entry fee of 280,000, especially in Kampala. Yeah, then the maintenance
Because
is...
someone could say, no, we will be focusing on this and that and that and that and that, but if it's something different, then you might have to incur costs.
No, it's a pretty simple device to install, a pretty simple device to maintain. There's nothing really big or complicated about it, yes.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So let me ask, what happens though at the end of the day in terms of accessing the internet? For example, I've got the broadband, I'm now using it and things. I can always switch on what I want to use. I don't necessarily...
Okay, so like I say, the device supports up to 32 users or connections. So when installers come, they'll actually help you to set up your devices over Wi-Fi or Ethernet.
Okay.
They do all that at the time of installation. Yes.
So what happens if I want to add a device?
Yeah, you can call us. Of course, we could show you how to do it.
Okay.
But if you're not so comfortable, you can still call us and we assist you and help you
So
to do it.
someone could even have less than the 32 and
most
want
people
to
will have
add
less
or
than
remove,
32.
and you can help them.
Yes, we can help them.
Okay.
And that's what we term as maintenance. That's all part of the maintenance.
It's all under the maintenance issue. That's very interesting. So I think people really, really want to know if this is an offer that's just for around this time of year.
No. This will be on for as long as it takes. I think as long as Airtel exists.
Oh, you've launched it, and
we've launched
that's
it. Yeah, we launched it in September, and it's been running for the past maybe 2.5 months. September, November, December. Yeah, about 3 months now.
Okay, because
it's going to stay.
I have some friends who were asking, and someone kept talking about it. I'm like, okay, I need to know how this works. Yes, and how convenient this
Now, if you
really
go
is.
into any of our Airtel shops around town, you will find the team there that will assist you, and you can sign up. We don't think that we're going to change anything in terms of the pricing. It's going to stay like that. We might introduce more affordable pricing. That's usually what's the norm.
That's much better.
But I think it's going to stay like that for a while.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So as Airtel Uganda, yes, you've talked about all these things. We've talked about the broadband. And I'm thinking people out there excited about this. I, for one, am excited about this because so many times something that could take up to such numbers would be a bit costly.
Yes.
Yes. And then while, midway you're enjoying the services, and then you realize, hey, they've increased the rates. And I'm hoping that doesn't change like you promised. Okay. So I want you to talk to the people in regards to why they should actually go out there and purchase this. I know we've talked about a few elements there, like the affordability and things, but why should it be Airtel?
So ideally, like I said, with this solution, first and foremost, our outdoor unit connects to our uninterrupted signal, and then gives you coverage over Wi-Fi with the IDU, the indoor unit, to 32 users. And two, it's affordable. It's reliable and fast internet. You get the 51 GB free at the start of the service. You get free installation from our highly qualified and technical engineers. You can get maintenance of up to 3 years. Those are the key elements of the solution, or key benefits of getting this offer or solution. And then the last bit is, going forward, you're buying these bundles at a very affordable rate per GB. For example, if you take the 300,000 for 200 GB, it's about 1,500 shillings per GB. Yeah, so you can see how much you're saving. You may not get that rate anywhere in the country yet. So there is a very key element of affordability. So like I said, those small businesses who really want to grow their businesses, who want to still have internet at an affordable cost, would basically sign up for this service. The speeds are pretty beautiful. They're 4G speeds. If you just go to another service centers, you'll be blown away, especially people who like to do things like gaming, streaming, going to Netflix. Basically look at these things and they're not buffering. So people who understand that will really enjoy this.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so this is quite interesting, I must say, and very, very exciting, especially now that we're talking about this around this time of year, where people would really want to connect, to get in touch with, the rest of the world. And that is something I must say I do wish you the best of luck in, which is a very good thing. But I'm going to ask you to give us some final words out there to the people that are watching. I know I already asked you why should people use the Airtel broadband, but in your own words, something that you feel maybe you should point out to the people that are watching us. So you will look into your camera and just go on. Okay, so basically, the solution, Airtel Broadband, is designed for homes and SMEs. It's very affordable. You can connect to 32 users at any one time. And then the key thing is, for experience purposes, I urge you to just get off your seat when you have time over this weekend, walk to any of our Airtel Broadband centers and look at the Airtel Broadband experiential zone or demo zone, where you will see how the unit looks and what it can do, and you can even connect your phone and browse and see. Then you will be convinced to buy and sign up and take up the service. And it's quite secure. Yeah, it's secure. Yeah, because it's only when you're connected to the broadband that you can actually use this broadband. But how easy though? Can I have someone get on and get it as quick as possible? No, so ideally, just like most Wi-Fi solutions, before you connect, you have a password in your Wi-Fi. Yes. So for someone to access? Yeah, they'll have to know the password to access the Wi-Fi of the device. Yeah. So can I also put off a particular phone, a particular device on my own? Because some people have a tendency of using the password. There's an admin interface where you can get in and change the Wi-Fi SSID. You can change the password. You can limit the number of users. But there's people, when they get on, anytime they show up, they're on automatically. So they don't really, work on their settings. Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you so much. I must say, this is exciting. I would love to think the people that are back there at home should probably try this, not just the people at home. And we're looking at involving so many people that have been left out in terms of the access to the internet. The small and medium enterprises have not been able to probably do certain things because internet has been quite expensive. It's been selected, especially at that level, for specific people. One could use those words. But thank you so much, Isaac, for your time. I know thank you very much. There's always a next time to exhaust this, but this is something we need to keep talking about, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Isaac. Isaac Kyohere, did I say that correctly? Yes. And he is lead pricing Airtel broadband, and they're looking at the fact that anyone can access from anywhere. Right now you say Kampala.
Yes.
But I think in the neighboring, like not so far cities.
Yeah, in a few months' time we'll be rolling out countrywide. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. And I must say, that's it for this particular interview. Don't go away. You're still watching UBC, and this is Business Today.
Thank you.
This festive season, enjoy